So last night, we ended up buying ES at the exact lows and ended up having a 50-point plus spike from our entry during the pre-market trading session. We absolutely crushed it again. In terms of the options trades, G-Roar had an amazing day today. There was multiple 100% plus profit returns on put options. If you use the game plan, you would have been buying put options towards the exact highs once the SPY closed the gap at 689. As I had stated, once it fills the gap, it's going to be one of the best levels for puts. If you see a red bearish 30-minute candlestick closing confirmation, the confirmation was there. SPY began to sell off. And then there was two zones for call options. I ended up buying calls at both of the zones. The first trade did not work out. The second trade did end up working out, going in the green. With that being said, I'm going to be going over the trades that we made towards the end of this video. First things first, let's get straight into the analysis, and I'm going to explain to you how to trade the best setups at the best prices. The market is currently sitting up for a fairly highly predictable, lucrative trading opportunity heading into the futures hours trading session. I am currently long on ES once again. I literally just got in. I'm going to be explaining to you our overall game plan for SPY. Let's get straight into the analysis. So, in terms of the overall analysis, I'm going to be focusing on the daily chart and the 10-day, 30-minute chart price action analysis for tonight's overall game plan. So, in terms of the daily chart and what it is signaling, it's signaling that we had some previous resistance. You can see right here, we have some previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance. We had a breakout, and then we topped at a break and retest level right here at these lower highs at 689, which was the first level that I had given you to buy put options, which was the exact highs of the day when the SPY came back up to fill the gap. If you watched last night's game plan, I made it very, very clear that we were all going long during a futures hours trading session to be buying ES because we were all playing for the gap to fill. And surely enough, as I had stated, the gap was going to fill, and we all banked on that overall trade. And then G-Roar was alerting puts after the gap closed and started reacting bearish. He called out two amazing plays on puts. In terms of the trade on ES, this was it. Yesterday at 10:11 p.m., ES at 6875, it went up over 40 plus, over 50 plus points, man. Everybody fucking printed on that trade who took it. So, anyways, the gap filled, SPY reversed at the gap. It had a successful break and retest on the put side, a successful gap close reversal on the put side. Um, it had a small, it had a nice little overall bounce at our best call zone for calls. We had two zones for calls. The best one was right around the 680, the lower one. That's the one where it worked out. The 68.3 level really wasn't as successful, didn't really work out in a sense. But anyways, in terms of where we're at right now, market's due for a bounce. I do believe there's going to be a magnet level where the SPY is going to try to retest heading into this week. It could be early as tomorrow. I'll show you how to determine and confirm if it's going to be tomorrow. Um, but in terms of this week, it should be this week, if not the next week. But basically, it looks like this week that the SPY is going to try to retest and gravitate back towards this 686.50 to 687 overall break and retest level. That's what I would say is the short-term profit target in terms of going long, right? I'll explain to you how to confirm if it's actually going to be tomorrow. But in terms of this week, I'm definitely given a fair value target for the SPY of 687. Um, in terms of the daily chart pattern is signaling that we're due for a bounce. If the market does gap up, we're due for a little gap and go. It could potentially drop back down after hitting the key level for puts, which I will be sharing with you in terms of our newly updated levels for puts. But in terms of how this looks, this was resistance, right? SPY to breakout, drop back down to retest this previous resistance, right? Form the higher support, began to break out, retested this previous support, began to drop back down, right? So it formed a lower high, but it's also trying to form some support. So it's in a battle zone. The SPY right now is in a battle zone, back and forth between this higher support and lower highs, battling in between this break and retest channel of, I would say, 680 to 689. So we're talking about a 9-point channel. Right now, we're towards the bottom of the overall channel. In terms of the market, one of the worst strategies that you can do, I mean, at least if you want a high win rate, right, is to be buying put options at oversold in low levels, especially when the SPY gaps down, which is why we were all buying ES during the futures hours trading session, because we had determined that SPY gap down and there was clear confirmation to be buying ES to play for the gap to fill above. And surely enough, the gap ended up filling that was waiting to fill above on you know, on a ES when it had the nice gap down and then it spiked right back up, closed the gap and reversed. You can see right here, ES had the nice gap down, spiked back up, and then it reversed, right? We were literally buying at 6875. We were buying towards the exact lows. You see all these 30-minute bullish candlestick confirmations? This is where we were buying. All this bullish support, all these trend reversal dojis on a 30-minute chart. We bought at the exact lows, and this went from 687 all the way to 6930. It went up 60 points from our entry, and it only dropped a couple points from our entry. The risk to fucking reward is off the fucking charts. That's over a 6.0 risk to reward. And I even gave them the profit target and in terms of where to lock in gains, which was at the gap. The first level for puts was at the gap. Once ES closed the gap in SPY, it formed a red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation. This is bearish engulfing here as well with this double top, and it kept on selling off with these red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations. Losing is genuinely a personal choice. When you're buying futures trades that barely drop and go up 60 fucking points. This year net alone, I've now made over 1,050 points on all my ES trades combined. I haven't had one loss on futures this year, all mainly buying during the nightly session and swing trading into the pre-market. Typically when I'm trading futures, it's at night. Sometimes it's early in the morning around 8 a.m. So anyways, like I said, I'm in another one right now. I'm in at 682 25, already fucking green on that. Like I said, the market has a fucking magnet to go back up towards that 687 overall gap fill range. Um to I mean, excuse me, this break and retest range. We got some break and retest levels towards 687, got some break and retest levels towards 689. But look, this is what the daily chart is signaling. It's signaling that it's going to try to have a bullish move first, especially if it gaps up. Right now, we're experiencing a small gap up during extended hours, and this is also occurring at, you know, the lower part of the channel. And the worst thing you can do in a market like this, I'll show you the chart. This is what the market's doing, right? Worst thing you can do in a market like this that just keeps on going up and up and up over time, keeps on breaking out, retesting, forming higher support, breaking out, retesting higher support, is to buy puts at oversold levels when there's bullish confirmations at oversold levels, right? I told people the best thing to do with puts is just to wait for SPY to fill the gap. And that was the exact highs. Literally the level in my title that I had disclosed where the market's going to spike first and then it's going to crash at 68950 was the exact high of day. And there was a bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation once the SPY filled the gap. I just genuinely don't understand how anyone could be red when I'm entering a trade on futures and it goes up 60 points. When I'm given a game plan to buy puts and it's the exact highs of the exact levels and the confirmation is there. It's like losing is genuinely a personal choice. The win rate doesn't even matter. So many points on ES, I could have had many option I could have had many option losses in a row and I still would have been green because I know how to manage my risk. One big win offsets all the losses throughout the day if there's any losses. Is genuinely a personal choice. Losing's a choice especially when you're starting your day already green. The easiest way to win is to start your day green. If you start your day red, then you're digging yourself into a bigger loss, right? The dumbest thing you can do is go green to red, or just keep on digging yourself into a bigger loss. But going green to red, that's like max stupidity. If you're red, that's just a signal. If you start off red, that's just a signal that, you know, you're jumping in on the action too early and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. But if you're green to red, that's like maximum fucking degenerate. It truly is to go green to red because it's like you're already green, you already accomplished your goal to trade, right? But yeah, man, that's the overall, you know, perspective on a daily chart. If you just look at the daily chart, red trend reversal, red trend reversal, red trend reversal, right? Whenever the SPY forms this red trend reversal daily candlestick, next day bullish, next day bullish, next day bullish spike, right? Um, this is a slightly different version. Right here, this is a similar daily candlestick. It's not red though, it's green. Even the next day, it gapped up. And then the previous day highs was a major short level, right? And I stand by that. I strongly believe that especially tomorrow, if this went back towards previous day highs, that would be a phenomenal opportunity to short a gap and go. For the SPY to come back down to fill that gap below, then we watch and target calls again towards the gap at 682.39. So yeah, that's how we're setting up. You need to look at the clear picture of the overall daily chart, and the weekly chart backs me as well. The weekly chart, in terms of last night's game plan, clearly stated the best thing we do is buy calls on oversold dips. Um, but if you guys open your eyes, you'll see this is a resistance channel. This is a breakout. This is a retest. This is a red trend reversal. This is a red trend reversal. This is a red trend reversal, right? Every time it forms this like red trend reversal at this break and retest resistance level right here towards 681. Look, it spikes, it spikes, it spikes, it spikes. You see that? Same pattern. Now, it's even more bullish now, and the reason it's even more bullish now is because it's forming a higher support. You understand? This pattern was forming, it was bottoming towards 676. The market is now bottoming at a higher break and retest level. Look at the contrast. It's bottoming at the higher resistance, which means, this compression channel, this small compression channel where there's break and retest at 689, which was the exact highs where I told you to buy put options. I just generally don't understand how anyone could be red if it says in the title the market's gonna crash at 689 and it drops fucking 8 points from 689. If they would have bought puts, they would have been green. And then if they bought calls at my levels, you know, maybe they would have lost some money. But if you go green to red, what's the point of being green in the first place? My first zone for calls didn't work out, but there wasn't really any confirmations. The second zone did work out. If you can't figure out how to be profitable with a 50% win rate, even if you start off red first, then you shouldn't be trading, especially zero-day options. But anyways, if you just look at this, man, we're setting up for an easy magnet back towards that 687 range. The market's forming higher support, it's also forming lower highs, but the key is the market keeps on pushing higher. And if you look at this, it looks like we're in a compression channel. It's compressing. It's got a previous break and retest level right here at 681.45. It's got a previous break and retest level right here at 689. It's a battle between the bulls and the bears of this 681 support and 689 resistance. The reasoning on why the bulls are going to win this battle for the short term, not just the weekly chart, but if you just look at the signal, it's right in front of your fucking eyes. It's going to bounce first. It's the strongest signal. Trend reversal here, bullish day. Break, retest, break, retest. It's literally a compression breakout, a sideways compression breakout fucking channel, man. Look, I'll clear all of this out really quick just to make this very fucking simple, man, on where we stand. And this is the most likely outcome. And I'll be giving you the game plan if there is a break of trend, but this is the most likely outcome. And I decided to act early because again, we're at the bottom of the fucking channel, and futures market is going to be going all fucking night and all fucking day. So when something's at the bottom of the fucking channel and it's holding and it's starting to move up, it tends to go up 50, 60, 70 points, right? By the time everyone fucking wakes up. So I don't sleep on that shit. If I see something at the bottom of the channel with a perfect confirmation, I'm sitting here saying, dude, this is the best setup at the best price during the futures hours trading session. This is when I show up and capture the futures moves, just like in terms of what I did yesterday, which is something not a single fucking person on this planet is doing, was buying ES at 6875 at 10:11 p.m. and it spiked to fucking 6930. The shit went up 55 plus points. We have some of the same members every single day going green on these futures trades. I haven't had one loss on the futures trades, and they're all going up 50 to 60 points. How the fuck can I? It's like, dude, one fucking trade passes a fucking evaluation. If you're trading on a prop firm, that's one fucking trade. I'm doing this shit at least twice a week on futures. But look, it's as simple as this, man. This is your resistance at 680, your breakout, right? Every time we retest, I'll show you the bullish trend reversal confirmations, right? These are some bullish confirmations. These are some bullish confirmations. Bullish confirmations. Bullish confirmations, right? And then here we are again with another bullish confirmation, right? Except the difference is this is where things get interesting in terms of this bounce, why it's just so strongly due for a bounce. And I traded this in the past, and if you guys watched my video last night, you are well aware that I said I was absolutely 100% certain that SPY was going to fill the gap this week, and surely enough, it already filled. It's a good thing I got in that futures trade, and I would say I'm absolutely 100% fucking certain that the SPY will go back up to 687. So if I just hold this ES futures trade, right, and don't use fucking stop losses and don't use a prop firm that's going to stop me out, and I just hold through it if there's some pain first, which there likely won't be, but if it is, I can fucking hold through it. Dude, I'm up over 1,050 fucking points on ES this year. I can hold through a fucking massive drop of 50 fucking points easily. Every single fucking trade I'm taking on ES is going up 50 fucking points. So anyways, no matter what, I'm gonna be green and I'm gonna keep on winning and I'm gonna keep on banking. If you want to know the glitch in the cheat code, dude, futures, this shit is working every single fucking time. It doesn't matter if it drops 5 points, 10 points, 20 points. If you're not on like a stop loss prop firm, this shit just always fucking goes up. In my favor, it works every fucking time. I haven't had one loss on futures this year. And I'm absolutely certain that the SPY is going to be retracing back to 687 this week, and it will attempt to push above because this is where we're at within the market. We're having the breaks, we're having the retest. It is now forming a break and retest at a higher floor, right? Previous resistance, retest, 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 retest. Every time it retests, it goes up higher. And look at the confirmations. The confirmations are bullet print, and also it's forming higher support, and it's in a sideways compression channel, right? So this right here, trend reversal, right? Trend reversal, same daily candlesticks. Look at the next day. SPY gapped up, very strong gap and go, right? It broke above those previous day highs, broke a fucking above them, man. And you got to open your eyes and understand the market is actually setting up to fake out and to fuck a lot of bears. That's genuinely what it looks like is happening here. It looks like that the market is setting up where the Bears are going to get absolutely fucking trapped. That's what the shit's looking like. Because look at what it's doing. It keeps on breaking and retesting. It keeps on breaking and retesting, and it keeps on trying to push for new all-time highs, push for new all-time highs. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This compression channel. The market is compressing between these two levels right here. This is where it gets very interesting. Let me zoom in on this. This is the compression channel. This is your break and retest support, 689.50. When it cracked that support, it dropped back down, retested that previous break and retest level, the oversold level. Then it began to break out. And then look, it formed lower highs. Market spiked back up when it hit the lower point of that channel, right? Formed lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, gap, close reversal, right? Now look where it bottomed. It bottomed today at that previous resistance right here. Previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance, right? 1, 2, 3, these three daily candlesticks right here, right? So it's trying to form higher support while it's also forming lower highs. You see, it's zigzagging sideways, compressed at the fucking bottom. Do you understand? SPY is compressed at the fucking bottom. It can't just fucking sit here. It has to spike to the fucking moon. That's exactly what the fuck it has to do and start going back to the high of these wicks, to the high of these wicks, to the high of these wicks, like it always fucking does. That's what it's literally trying to set up for, a compression breakout. Not that we need it to break above the previous day highs. Because the time fucking ES, by the time SPY goes to fucking 687, ES is gonna be up a fuck ton, man. This trade is a futures gold mine of a trade where it can just genuinely play out during the futures hours trading session. Um, and that's actually one of the main reasons why I started trading futures, is because my game plans were playing out during the futures hours trading session, and it was already too late during the normal hour trading session, right? Sometimes it would retrace back, but it already played out, so we were less interested in. And then sometimes it would never retrace fucking back. It's like, dude, this is a fucking gold mine. Do you understand? Like, I'm talking, I'm making this video right now. I'm printing right fucking now, as I'm about to print more when this video gets posted and we have a fuck ton of members join. Like, dude, look at this, man. It's a fucking gold mine. Futures is a fucking gold mine. I bought ES at 6,875 yesterday. It was the exact lows. Shit went up 60 points. Look, I'm doing this shit again. Every single futures trade that I've alerted this year has been a massive fucking win where it spiked 30 to 50 points plus. And I've gotten in towards the exact lows. I'm doing it again. Every single fucking time I see this play. Right here, 6862.25, 8:45 p.m. What the fuck did I tell you guys yesterday? SPY was going to fill the gap, and then when it fills the gap, you buy puts. If you would have listened to me, bought ES, and then switched to puts after it filled the gap on the red bear's 30-minute candlestick confirmation, you would have had a massive win on ES, and you would have had also massive win on fucking puts. If you fucking listened, you would have been in on puts at the exact fucking peak, and you would have been riding ES long when that video was posted. It's like, dude, by the time this video fucking gets posted, who fucking knows how high ES is going to be? This shit's already up 8 fucking points, man. Already 8 fucking points. Fucking A. Losing is genuinely a personal choice. Just nobody buying this shit at the exact fucking lows. This shit, like, nobody's fucking doing this every single fucking day. This is fucking insane, man. So, that's where we're at within the market. We're in a compression chop where this shit's gonna have a sideways breakout. The bears are absolutely fucked. You know, the worst thing you do is buy puts at oversold fucking levels, which is why I told all the lovely bears to just buy puts at the gap at the exact peak. You know, when it looked like it was gonna break out, when it looked like it was gonna go higher, I told them just buy the puts at 689 when the gap fills. When it's red bears 30-minute candles confirmation, just get it on the fucking puts. So if they listen to me, they'd be up a fuck ton. If they didn't, well, fuck, I wouldn't expect them to be in the fucking group if they're losing fucking money. If you can't make money with my information, there's no reason to be in the group to begin with. So that's what the fuck I have to say. And let's dissect the levels here and get into this, right? So SPY had a gap and go. We're playing for the gap and go, and then an opportunity for puts if it hits a overbought level. So look, let's get into the levels. In terms of our levels, 682.40 is going to be the gap fill level, the gap close reversal level. So this is actually going to be one of the best levels for calls if market retraces back down here. Like I said, this is going to try to play out during the futures hours trading session. So for those of you not in futures, you're going to miss out on already a fucking massive. This shit already spiked 8 fucking points, dude. We were in before this big ass spike. You see this big ass fucking spike? We were in before that. So anyways, and if you just look at right here, I mean, if you just like if you guys like want to picture and open your fucking eyes, like I don't it's unlimited fucking upside fucking potential. Like if you're not in this play, you are fucked. You are literally fucked. I could go straight to the club right now after this video and it would just be printing all fucking night. I could wake up, it'll still be fucking printing. And then if it's at the highs, I'll play puts for a gap fill. And then when it fills the gap, I'll buy calls at the exact lows. I will hit every fucking trade. We are 1,000 steps ahead of every fucking trader. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's printing during futures hours trading session, pre-market session, market open session. Our team fucking wins 24 fucking 7. I told these motherfuckers puts. I literally told them puts at 689. It was written directly in the fucking title. You know, shout out to fucking G-Roar for calling the fucking plays. Look at this. 682 SPY puts for 50 cents. Shit went to 100 cents at the speed of light. 680 SPY puts for 50 cents. Shit went to 170 cents at the speed of light. Both of the puts went up a fuck ton. 50 to 260 cents. 50 to 170 cents. Dude, losing's all personal choice. Those were multiple 100% profit returns. Before that, we had my 50 point plus fucking win on ES. Right now, I'm already up fucking 10 points on E fucking S. I'm like, dude, we're just getting fucking started. The more I speak truth, the higher the price goes. Bears are fucked. SPY's gonna go right back to 687. My trade on futures is gonna be worth a fuck ton. I could have, if I wanted to, I could lose all day on options. Because I know how to manage my money. I know how to manage my fucking risk. You think if I make 50 points on ES, I'm going to flip red on the fucking day? What are you, fucking crazy? The fuck? That's a fuck ton. When you're green enough to walk away, you can walk away or you can choose to keep on risking more. And if you risk more, you get back 25 to 50% of your gains, no matter how many fucking losses you have. Because you know when you have to stop. It's defined by your account size and your position sizing. When we win, we always scale down our position sizes, but we still add to winners and set our profit stops to protect that. Um, green to red is a choice if you make it a choice, things are choices if you make them choices. Some people don't make things choices. Today I was in a trade on calls. I usually don't do this. I was red. I was down like 70% or something, and it came back to life. And I was playing for a big win. I told myself, you know what? I made a fuck ton on ES, and I measured the move of the big win. And if the move to big win would have worked out, I would have made 300 to 400%. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to set a profit stop on this trade. If it goes back to red, I'll just let it expire worthless and go zero. And the trade ended up, going back into red, and that was my choice. But for anyone who took that trade, as long as they held it, they could have easily cashed out. And at the end of the day, losing was a personal choice, right? It's just for me, I chose that because I measured a move and I had to find that it was going to be a 300% plus win if it worked out. It's not going to work all the time. This time it didn't work out. But the reason why I did that is because I was confident in the play and I was already green as fuck on the day. That's why I can't fucking lose. I'm already green as fuck and I measured an opportunity. So I said, you know what? For this one, like that's something that you guys need to understand. Like to actually win big, if you want to actually win fucking big, you have to hold trades. That's how you fucking do it, right? I'm not saying to flip green to red. If I'm not saying if you're up 50%, don't go. If you're up 50% and you see 300% coming, don't go risking going green to red. Don't do that. The reason why I did it is because I was already green as fuck. You understand? When you're already green as fuck on the day, if you want, you can make whatever you want a choice. Losing's already a choice. You can sit there and go, you know what? On this trade, I want 300%. And if I don't get it, then I'll just let it expire worthless and go to zero, right? You could do that. Or you can say, you know what? If I don't get it, I'll have a profit stop set at 10% so I don't flip red on the trade. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But when you're green as fuck, just make sure that you don't go green to red on the day. It's okay if you wanted to take a risk and you wanted, a bigger win, and you're okay if that trade goes red and you don't set the profit stop. You can do all that. Just make sure that you're green as fuck and you're not gonna flip fucking red. Rules can change when you're green as fuck. You don't have to walk away. You don't have to set a profit stop if you don't want to, but that's only on rare setups. That's something that I rarely ever do. I did it this time because I measured the move and it were to work in my favor. I would have made over 300%, but it didn't and it flipped red and I was okay with that because I determined my outcome before it played out. I told myself if it works, then I'll make like 300%. If it doesn't, then I'll just let it go red. And I was completely fine with the end result because I was already green as fuck on the day and I already determined what the outcome would be. Whether I won, I would know what I would get. Whether I lost, I know what would happen, right? And I was comfortable doing that because I was green as fuck. So just remember that. Um but you guys always need to be setting your profit stops though, and making sure you don't go green to red. That's something I rarely ever fucking do. I did it this time because I like the setup, and I measured it, and if it were to work out and hit my target, it would have been 300% plus, and I was already green as fuck on the day, so I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Like in order to win big, you do have to hold fucking trades. Like one of the ways to win big is to hold trades. Another way to win big is to time trades perfectly, with the right strikes. There's multiple ways to do it, but in the situation that I was in with the price action, I had to hold the trade. That was the only way. Um, so, anyways, in terms of our levels, you know, we have 682.50. This is going to be the gap, 682.40. So right here, gap close reversal. This is going to be a great level for calls. Calls, gap close reversal, heavy support, break and retest right here in the pre-market towards 683 to 683.70. This is going to be our call zone. Oh my gosh, the more I talk, the higher SPY and ES just keeps on fucking going, man. Fucking A. Imagine if I did this on a fucking live stream. The whole fucking world would be just buying this shit up like fucking crazy, man. It's just like, oh my fucking gosh. This shit just keeps on working every single fucking time I make a futures trade. This shit fucking works. It's like, dude, I'm making money in my fucking sleep. I'm making money where I go. Where I go, making money. When I sleep, making money. When I wake up, making fucking money. Like, think of it. People wake up. Some people wake up earlier than me and they just get started planning. By the time I wake up, I'm already green on the day. I'm already walking the fuck away. And then if I choose to keep on trading, I could have as many losses as I want on the day because I don't flip green to red. I size my positions down. I have the capital to trade with. If your account's that fucking small, then you have to limit yourself. Limit your contracts, okay, I can only make X amount of trades. But when you're making a fuck ton, you don't. The limits go away. It's like, dude, this shit is fucking cracked. This is our call zone. Calls here. Big move breakout happens here. Once we go above this level right here, 685. As you can see, this is a major level. When 685 reacts bearish, it drops back down to fill the gap. When it reacts bullish, it fucking climbs. In terms of where we're climbing to, right here, 687s, 687s. Next level above that is going to be 689.50, right? So that's your price ladder. Oh, here we'll add this to ladder too. 681.50. 681.50, very strong break and retest level. 682.50, gap close reversal level. 685, make or break. If it breaks out, it fucking rallies. If it drops, we go back down to fill the gap for reversal. Potential drop zones 687 and 690. But you need to keep in mind heading into this week, we could break above that, and you got to be careful. Obviously, I'll be locking in gains before that. I'm looking to lock in right around here towards 686, mid to 687. Ideally early in the morning, um, to market open, ideally. But you know, when you got the profit targets, you know when to sell the rips. You don't get stuck right here like a fucking degenerate. If you're buying right here and it has this massive fucking spike and then you get stuck in that and don't take your profits, you're a fucking degenerate. You don't know when the market's gonna drop. It's like, dude, we knew when the market was gonna drop before it dropped. We have the game plans that give people the exact highs of day. And people have to live with that. They have to live with that. There's traders out there and they don't know where the high day is gonna be. They don't know, where to take profits on calls. They don't know the best levels for puts. They don't know that because they don't fucking know, you know? But when you've been doing this long enough and you have the skill set for it, you start to know the vast majority of the time on where the market's realistically going to drop, what confirmations you need to look for. It's like, dude, as soon as SPY closed the fucking gap, it had a perfect reversal. It was absolutely perfectly, man. Look at this, man. This was a gap down. This was a gap down. When it came back up and closed that gap, red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation. All of this resistance, man. Look, we're going to pre-market too. All the confirmations was there to be shorting the market and buying puts. It was already dropping at 688, forming those lower highs. Once it came back up to fill that gap, red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, more lower highs. This previous support reacted as a resistance. Oh man, this is an interesting note that people aren't talking about. So I'm going to use a 30-minute candlestick representation of a daily chart pattern that's in alignment on why the SPY is probably going to keep on going up and up and up. And as it keeps on going up and up and up, this room that you're seeing here, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in portals, teleporting there, in the city that I'm in. I'm going to be moving around. I'm going to be having a fucking ball of a fucking time because I know exactly what's going to fucking happen. Not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but it looks like it is. But I don't need to. I could just hold this trade, whatever the fuck it wants to do. This week, SPY's going back to 687, and I'm holding my futures trade, and it's going to print. And then I'm going to say losing to personal choice, just like it was yesterday. I was very confident that the market was going to fill that gap at 689. Here I am again. It's like, dude, the frequency out here, it's very hard to lose. It really is. It's really hard to lose where I'm at right now because the frequency is off the fucking charts. It's just like I'm looking at this and I know exactly what's going to happen. Like, yeah, there's timing. In terms of timing doesn't matter as much when you trade the right asset classes, when you know what the fuck you're doing. You don't have to time shit. If you just hold shit, you don't have to time shit. People can't hold shit because they size too fucking big. That's why they take their small wins so quickly because they're in so fucking heavy. That's why they use their stop losses because they're size so fucking big. Fuck, if you just trade trends, you don't even have to be right about the trends. You don't even have to fucking time the trends. Eventually, the shit just works in our fucking favor the vast majority of the fucking time. Max risk per trade is what you put into the trades. This shit is cracked. It really is. Like, I'm just envisioning the market going to 687, and then I'm just envisioning all of the profit that I'm going to make on ES. And then I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to do this over and over and over again. And then I'm just going to keep on. I'm going to be like, wow, are people still losing money? Are people still losing? Like, how the fuck are they red? How the fuck can they be red when we're winning 24 fucking 7? When it's doing exactly what the fuck I says it does, how are people red? When I say SPY is going to fill the gap, we're long on ES, we buy the exact lows and it fills the gap, we're taking profits. And then when it does fill the gap, if you see a red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, stock market's going to crash 689, buy puts. And then G-Roar is buying a fucking puts. This is what I like to see. When G-Roar is in full alignment with the gap close reversal strategy, with the best resistance levels, with the 30-minute confirmations, because that was in full alignment, to be buying puts, 682 puts at 50 cents. They went to 260 cents. 680 puts at 50 cents. They went to 170 cents. Dude, do the fucking math. That's over 500% gains on trades we're adding to winners on. And then I gave you an ES trade that went up 50 fucking points before that. Like, there's not a single group in existence on this fucking planet, in this fucking realm, who's doing what the fuck I'm doing. Nobody. Absolutely fucking nobody. Nobody fucking prints like us. So that is the game plan. That is the focus. Um, in my experience with what's going on, I would say that we're definitely absolutely 100% fucking certainly I'm going to win again because winners win. That's just what happens, in this world. I really there's winners and losers. Some people they're kind of in between. I would say they're like in transition. Um but it comes down to winners and losers. And I would say with absolutely certainty SPY's going to go back up to 687. Not saying it's going to happen right away. Likely is though. Um you know, but I would also say there's a very strong realistic chance that this week the market will break above 690, right? Not that I need it to, not that I'm even playing for that. But in my experience with this history of trading SPY, so this has to do with my futures trade as well, but I picked up on a frequency where I remember trading this setup, and I specifically remember that it did go back to this break and retest level right here. Obviously, it was at a different level in the past, but with this overall chart, it went back to here, and then within time, it had a breakout above it. You know, the market's gonna go absolutely fucking nuts once it finally breaks above 690. That's when it goes fucking crazy. In the meantime, there's a magnet right here. It's going to keep on trying to gravitate towards this within time. Might drop first at this level, very realistic to happen. But if it holds above 685, then it's really going to try to rally above 689. Once we finally break above 689, that's when we have that crazy fucking breakout, dude. But oh my gosh, to be buying puts at the low of a channel with confirmation. Oh man, I was speaking about this and then I switched the topic to something else. This is what I wanted to mention. This is what I find interesting. So which strategy? And this makes me more bullish. So take a look. 30-minute chart, support, support, support. Cracks the support. You see this like red universal candlestick on a break and retest when it cracked that support, right? It started to sell off. The reason why I mentioned that is because the same thing is happening except on the bullish side, right? So again, just take a look at that overall pattern. Support is right here. It spikes, it retest, right? And then support is right here as well. Spikes and it retests, right? So twice, break and retest. Bearish trend reversal 30-minute candle placed at a break and retest. You see, so this is support, market cracks, retest, lower highs. This is support, market cracks, retest, lower highs. High of this is at the previous 30-minute support. Closing of this is at the previous lower 30-minute support, meaning it's forming those lower highs. And then the market has a big sell-off. Look, it goes from 686 all the way down to 680, right? Now take a look at the daily chart. So I'm showing you a 30-minute pattern in a strategy called break and retest that works both ways. And what I'm showing you is the same pattern is actually happening on the daily chart, which is why I'm even more fucking bullish, right? So you can do that. You can look at patterns on different time frames, and then you could take those patterns and apply them to different time frames, and they tend to work just on a different level, you know, micro macro. So in this situation, it's a daily chart pattern, but we started with a 30-minute chart pattern. It's the same pattern, same candles, just different time frames. So it works for the relevance of the time frame and levels and channels that we're in, right? So right now, you know, SPY is at an oversold fucking level, right? And if you watched my past lessons on futures lessons, I specifically told you that when it comes to trading futures, you're going to see me enter when the best confirmation is there at the best level. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm showing up with my presence, giving you something that nobody else is willing to fucking give you. And the reason why that is because they don't see it how I see it. They don't operate how I operate. They don't trade how I trade. They don't have my schedule. They don't have my eyes. They don't see the way how I see the market. They don't think how I fucking think. I show up with clear presence when there's a perfect frame, you know? That's where you'll see me fucking trading when it's picture fucking perfect, a finished fucking product. It's like the exact environment that I'm living in right now. You know, the environment that I'm living in right now, I don't see people in transition in their life. I don't see homeless people, and I don't see, you know, I don't see any of that. I see people who are very well established and accomplished and making a fuck ton of money. That's the environment that I'm in right now, you know? And that's how I like my trades to be. When I trade, I like to make sure that, you know, I want the finished product. That's exactly what the fuck I want. You know, I'm looking for the absolute best picture perfect setup. You know, that $100 million setup, that $100 million picture. Fucking, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, man. The environment that I'm fucking living in, everybody's winning, everybody's making money, everybody's fucking working, everybody's living and fucking loving life. You know, how it fucking should be. Fucking unlimited fucking. Everybody's fucking. And they're fucking winning too while they're fucking. They're not just fucking. You know, they're not just fucking. They're not just fucking around. They're not just playing. They're not just fucking. They're actually winning. That's the fucking difference, man. And what I'm telling you is, I'm looking at a picture perfect fucking win here. And all we're gonna do is win. That's it. It's just unlimited winning. You know, it's 24 fucking 7 winning, man. Fucking this future shit. There's absolutely nothing like it. But look, this daily candlestick was the same 30-minute candlestick that I just showed you. It's the same fucking thing on a break and retest, right? So this was support. This was support, right? This is the break and retest where it formed the lower highs, previous support, lower highs, previous support on the highs and also on the closing of that 30 minutes, right? And this 30-minute candlestick, right, looks very, very similar to the daily candlestick, except this time that bearish, what some people would say, oh, that's a bearish candlestick, stay away from calls. I'm sitting here saying, well, it's placed in a bullish break and retest level on the lower oversold channel. And it actually shows that it's bullish in a situation like this, which is something that most people fail to see. Most people, they don't know how to adapt. They don't know how to see it like water. They don't understand how to adapt. They don't understand how to see things multidimensional. Most people think that candlesticks are just like, okay, this is a candlestick and this is what it's supposed to do. No, no, no. A bearish candlestick can work in bullish scenarios, literally certain candlesticks are, I would say, bearish and bullish. This specific candlestick could be bearish, it could also be bullish. You have to understand placement of candlesticks, you have to understand strategies of candlesticks, right? So the point being is, on that 30-minute chart, there was a break in retest where that candlestick formed and there was a massive sell-off at the level, towards the level that we're starting to trade at, right? There was a massive sell-off at that break and retest with that 30-minute candlestick. Now, this is where it becomes picture fucking perfect on my genius fucking futures trade. And the more I speak about this, the higher SPY just keeps on fucking going up, man. And this is all alerted 100% in real time, within our group on when we take these trades, man. I haven't had one loss on futures this year. It's unlimited fucking winning. That's why I say, like, if people are red, they need to get the fuck out of the group. Like, if we're winning 24 fucking 7 and you're red, I would say that trading's not for you and you should leave the group, without hesitation, just literally leave the group, cancel the subscription, completely fine. So what you need to understand is this daily chart candlestick represents the daily chart, right? Not the 30-minute chart. But you could trade 30-minute candles in alignment with daily chart patterns. So this represents a more macro time frame. So it represents the next day, right? Wider price action, bigger moves. It is now placed, that similar red candlestick that I showed you on the 30-minute chart, it is now placed at a bullish higher break and retest level, right? Look at this. Previous resistance right here. It was placed here. It was placed here. Bullish next day. Bullish next day. Now look, previous resistance right here, it's slightly higher. You see how it's higher towards this 684? That's the crazy fucking level. If you're wondering when the big move's gonna happen, once we start forming support at 684 and breaking above 680 fucking 5, crazy fucking upside. And then when we break above 690, even crazier upside. But it's gonna try to drop first around that range, you know? But look, break, retest. You see how it's forming a higher support? You see how this red candlestick is no longer placed down here, no longer placed down here. See how it's now placed above here, which is why I think we're in that compression channel where we're in this sideways compression where the market's setting up to bounce again at our oversold range. And if you just look at the fucking chart, all the market does is bounce at oversold fucking levels. And if you just looked at the fucking weekly chart, you'd really start to question on how the fuck can anyone be red in this market if they just focused on strategies of going long, because this market just keeps on going up and up and up and up. And for the degenerates who say that, oh, the market's not going up, it's trading sideways, well, I would tell them to buy oversold dips. If they bought oversold dips, they would feel like this shit's hitting new all-time highs every single fucking day. They feel like fucking cocaine. I'm like, dude, if the market's just fucking struggling and chopping sideways and not doing shit, I would fucking tell them to wait for it to break above a resistance channel and drop back down to that resistance channel and buy the oversold break and retest fucking dip. And they'll feel like this shit's very oversold and very fucking all-time high fucking ripping from a trading point of view. Um, so yeah, that's why I think the Bears are fucked. That's why I think you're an absolute fucking degenerate if you're not going long on futures right now. That's why I think losing is genuinely a personal choice. Um, so yeah, I show up, I make people rich, I make people a fuck ton of money if they would listen. If they don't, they're fucked, and that's their fucking choice, and that's their fucking life. Losing's a personal choice. This is 2026. If you're not winning 24 fucking 7, you have the wrong strategy, you have the wrong system, you have the wrong environment, you're around the wrong fucking people, and you have to start fucking winning because this shit is genuinely a choice. So you know, there's magnets here, there's magnets here. The market's gonna gravitate towards those fucking magnets. I'll be holding my futures trades, making a fuck ton. Um, in terms of the 30-minute chart pattern, and like I said, our best level for puts is towards previous day highs. Best level for puts also towards that 692 and 695 zone. We'll draw that again, right? For the people who aren't setting price alerts, make sure you guys are setting price alerts. Add these alerts. We always have price alerts set at our alerts, right? So we're notified, so we don't have to watch this shit all day. So we're actually notified when these alerts hit for the prices we're interested in trading at. So these are your put zones, you know? For all you lovely people who want to buy puts, you could buy puts here, you could buy puts here, you could buy puts here, you could buy puts here. Just make sure you wait for the def candle to show up like it did today at the best level to buy puts at the gap close reversal, which is the strategy that led to us starting Team Roar. You know, simple gap close reversal trading strategy led to creating the best real-time 0 to 8 options trading alert system on the fucking planet. So yeah, losing is a personal choice. If you're red, you should not be trading in this market. It's like, dude, all it does is go up. You know, people who are saying that the market just doesn't go up, it goes sideways. Well, I would tell them, well, buy an oversold dip. You'll feel like it's just going up, and you'll feel like it's hitting new all-time highs when you buy an oversold dip. If you buy into the peaks where we told you to buy puts, like at 689, well, you probably don't know what the fuck you're doing. You probably feel like it's going sideways. Um, but yeah, man, that's where we're at for the short term. You know, we take it day by day. In terms of the 30-minute chart, what I would say is let's take a look. Let's take a clean look here at this 30-minute chart pattern. Let's see what is the market signaling here. So it looks like we got channel compression with some break and retest, some use, some channel compression. So for shit to hit the fan, we really need to go below the previous day lows. For there to be a break of trend, market needs to go below 680. I'm not interested in puts at those oversold levels. You know, I'm focused on puts at my overbought levels. But for shit to hit the fan, the market has to go below 680. Then it starts to sell off and tank hard. Then we go to the lower levels towards 677, 676, 674, 671. So for there to be a strong break of trend, the market has to start going under 680, break and retest lower highs, nice sell off, and then calls at our lower oversold levels, right? Right now everything is in bullish alignment. So anyways, looking at the 30-minute chart, yeah, so basically the 30-minute pattern is signaling that for this to fall off a cliff, it needs to go below 680. If not, then it's going to gravitate back towards the high of the channel, and it's going to try to drop first towards the previous day highs, which is our level for puts, and then within time it's going to try to retest these break and retest levels at 692 to 694 to 695 to 696 and then drop again, right? So in terms of other patterns that I'm seeing, right? Like I said, the strongest pattern that I'm seeing for the break of trend, it has to go under 680 to sell off at oversold levels, right? And just because we know something's going to sell off at oversold levels when it cracks doesn't mean we're buying puts. I'm just giving you the information in that specific scenario, right? You guys are well aware in terms of when I make the game plans, the confident plays that actually tell you to get in on, which is what I currently did yesterday, where I told you to buy ES, it's going to fill the gap, and then I told you to buy puts once the gap fills if there's a red bearish 30-minute candles confirmation. And then you know, in terms of the oversold level for calls, the first one didn't work out, but the second one did. If you can't be right with a 50% win rate, then that's on fucking you. But before that, there was a win on puts, and there was also a win on fucking ES. So losing genuinely a personal choice, even if you had a 50% win rate on that idea with two call options. So, anyways, in terms of our patterns, I would say, you know, it looks like fucking this, right? That's a good way to say it. It looks like fucking this, right? Um, Up, down, fuckity up, down again, right? So I would say like up, down, fuckity up. That's kind of what we're at. But like I said, in my experience trading this, we can go a hell of a lot higher this week to 695 and then crash. But we have to break above 690 first. At first, the market will attempt to drop at previous day highs, but I will say our previous day high is a great level to try first for puts when there's a bearish 30-minute candles confirmation. Yes, but I will say in terms of intuition in my current experience with this market is going to try to push above 690 the further after it drops first. The further this chart develops, the more of a confirmation I'll have on that. That's more of like a more future idea for this week. But with my intuition, I'm absolutely certain we're going to 687. There is strong intuition saying that it's going to try to drop first at 690, but then it's likely going to try to push higher, right? But I'm not just purely acting off of that, right? I take it one trade at a time. My trade right now is like, fuck everyone who's not in futures. They're fucking degenerates, dude. Look at this. This is extended hours. Open your fucking eyes. You see this? This is 684, right? Remember when we all bought fucking ES right around here at the fucking lows? And remember this shit rocketed 50 points? Look, it's at the same fucking level, right? And we dropped, this was a break and retest level, right? Break, retest, dropped. Now it's pushing above it, pushing a fucking above it with that 30-minute candlestick confirmation on the daily chart, signaling for that strong, roaring bullish day. And like I said, my intuition had stated in my experience trading this, there's magnets here to retest at 687. There's also a magnet here at 690, and there was also a third magnet. Now this one's going to take time. I would not go taking action on this right away, but there is a strong intuition signal that is saying that within time this week, the market could easily break above 690. I just got to wait to see if the confirmations are there. You guys know how I am with buying breakouts. I'm very cautious. You know me. I don't like buying calls at the exact peaks. I told you motherfuckers to buy puts at the exact peak at 689. If you watched the video and looked in the title, there was not a single other person on this fucking planet who put in their title, the stock market is going to crash at 689.50. That was the exact peaks. There's not a single other person who told you the market gap down when it fills the gap and you see a red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, the market's going to crash. Nobody's telling you that because they didn't fucking create this, And if they are, they fucking took it from me because I'm the first one to ever fucking do it. I started this whole fucking shit. I've been in this game for 2 fucking decades. All we do is fucking win. All we do is fucking print. So and like I said, and this time, and remember what I'm telling you this time. This time, it's not 100% confirmed yet, but like I said, I'm leaning on the bullish side this time. So just remember, I told you motherfuckers to buy puts at 690. Now I'm telling you, yeah, you could try it again. It's probably going to drop first, but now I'm telling you, this week has a strong chance of going above 690 if this trade that I'm talking about plays out. We have a very, very strong chance of going above 690, then finally testing the higher levels that we wanted to buy puts right here towards these higher levels as well. And then we'll look for bearish confirmations at our higher levels for puts, right? So that's your fucking game plan, right? Calls at oversold levels, gap close reversal 682.40. Once 684 to 685 is a successful support and break and retest level, go long there, right? That's your higher resistance level for a break and retest to buy calls at 685. Your oversold level is 683 to 682 of, excuse me, your oversold level to buy calls at break and retest 681.50, 682.40, 683.30, right? Oversold reversal levels for calls. Your break and retest level for calls, 685. Try not to keep it above 685, 685. So once the market forms a floor at 684 and then it starts breaking above 685, that is your highest level to be going long. Profit targets, 687, 689. Puts, previous day highs, 689, right? And then it's going to try to drop first, wait for the bearish 30-minute candles confirmation to get it on puts. And when it does drop first, if the market's holding towards 687 and it starts climbing back up, that's when it fucking goes berserk, breaks above 690, squeezes the bears into fucking oblivion, towards the top of the channel rather than the lows. Right now, towards the lows, the bears are getting squeezed into fucking oblivion, and we're all alone on E fucking S, right? Um, for it to happen towards the top, it's got to maintain that 687 after dropping from 689. And then once it breaks above, so look, if you want to buy calls at the absolute craziest fucking level, and if you're wondering when this crazy breakout's gonna happen, this is when it's gonna happen. I'll show you how to do it right now. Ideally, we want the market to drop first for a quick put, right? Top here, and then we want it to bottom right around here, right around 687. We want it to bottom ideally no lower than 686, right? So we want the market to form a higher channel right around here. Once you see that it's forming a higher channel, then when it retests and goes above 689, when that information happens, the market is going to fucking rally into those 690s. Then you look and wait for puts after you bank on the calls at the higher level. Then you look for puts towards, 694 to 696. Fucking amazing level is this 695. Oh man, 695 is fucking genius. Look, oh man, these are all fucking dude. Best levels for puts. Your absolute best level for puts. This level's fucking cracked. This is the cocaine level right here. 695. Unlimited fucking coke. And then this one you got to be a little bit careful on, but it is considered a good level. 692, So you got your cocaine level here, and then you got your good level here. And in the meantime, you motherfuckers need to focus on calls at those levels, right? So just utilize the information. You guys heard what the fuck I said. Just keep on focusing on the calls at our levels, right? Use the break and retest strategy, use the 30-minute candlestick confirmation. Only way shit hits the fan is if we go below 680, and then from there, you could just wait for signals of reversals at our lower levels, 676, 670, to 5 zone to 672 to 671 zone, right? Oh my gosh, dude, this is fucking, oh my god, I'm looking at unlimited fucking printing, unlimited fucking winning now. Not fucking stop, dude. Nobody can fucking win and print this much. Absolutely fucking nobody, dude. I'm looking at the market, I'm saying, dude, we're gonna win so much. We're gonna win so much that they're gonna have to redefine what people thought winning was. You know, people are gonna look at other people winning, they're gonna be like, dude, are they even winning? Like, we're gonna be the fucking definition. We're the fucking standard of fucking winning. You know? Because true winners, they win 24 fucking 7. They win when they're awake. They win when they're asleep. They win when they're doing whatever the fuck they want to do. You know? True winners win 24 fucking 7, dude. Like, shit, where I'm fucking living, everybody's fucking winning. It's fucking amazing. Like, my entire environment is like mirroring me. It's giving me an exact reflection of who I am. It's revealing me. It's fucking exposing me. I fucking love it, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking winner. Everyone sees I'm a fucking winner, and then I see who they are, and I'm like, yeah, these motherfuckers are winning too. It's good to fucking win. Let's cheer on and fucking win 24 fucking 7. Let's fucking redefine what people actually think winning is, you know? Let's make other people winning like they're actually fucking losing. How about that? Because a lot of people think they're fucking winning, but let's make it to where it's like it looks like they're losing. That's how fucking like we're gonna reinvent what winning truly looks like, what winning truly is, what winning truly means. Where it's like people are going to look at other people winning and they're going to be like, dude, those motherfuckers are actually losing, even though they're technically winning. Like, it's going to be fucking insane, man. Like, the amount of fucking winning is going to be fucking ridiculous. Like, right now, I'm looking at future straight on the 50 points, and then fucking, Giro will come in, he'll drop multiple 100% profit returns, 1,000% play during power hour. It's like, dude, that combination is deadly. We had a 50-point move on ES, and that was bought at the exact lows. Do you guys know how hard it is? Like, let's put this into perspective, right? We go to ES, and we go to yesterday. So look, this is what ES is doing. I could buy any time, any price. I could buy it, right? I could do whatever. Look, this is the chart yesterday. Look, this is what the chart looks like, right? Let's go to fucking where I got in. I got in right fucking here at you know, let's see, go to 6875 at 10:11 p.m. So let's go to 6875. The exact low was 6867. I didn't get stopped out. I held it. It dropped 8 fucking points. I'm saying, dude, 8-point drop. This shit's gonna go up 50 fucking points when it works. Fucking 8 points doesn't hold a candle to a 50-point move. If you're trading on a prop firm that stops you out at 8 points, maybe you're on the wrong fucking firm, or maybe you're just fucking broke, or maybe you need to stop trading on a prop firm. Like, dude, this shit is all a fucking choice. Losing is genuinely a personal choice. There's traders in the market who are winning and they are green every single fucking day, man. I'm buying towards the exact lows. My trade's going down 8 points. But if you look at the chart, it looks like I'm in at the exact fucking lows. You got all these trend reversal candles, you got dojis here, and then look at this. Look at this. Perspective. This is my down. I'm in right here, right? I'm in right here. This is my downside. This is my upside. This is my upside. Fucking see that, man? It's unlimited fucking wins. It's unlimited fucking gains. Fuck a stop loss. If you're using a stop loss, you're sized in too fucking big. If you're sized in too fucking big, you're never gonna make it. If you're using a stop loss, you're fucking broke. You wouldn't have to size in big if you weren't fucking broke. If you guys held your trades and sized in less and used profit stops, you be getting profit stopped out for wins instead of losses. And you can hold your losers and let them turn into wins. Dude, my trade on ES dropped 8 points yesterday. I didn't even fucking flinch. I stood there in fucking stillness, man. Fuck, man. I was looking at our chat. This motherfucker's saying, be careful. Fucking. And then there's other motherfuckers saying, you better take that free money. Like, man, there's two sides of the fucking equation. There really fucking is, man. There's no in between. There's motherfuckers who want to fucking print like fucking crazy and win, and then other people, they see it differently. Like, fucking A, man. People are saying, be careful. I'm buying ES at the exact fucking lows. What do you want me to do? Buy at the exact peak? Fucking A. Look at this trade, man. I just got in. This is fucking awesome. It already went up 10 points from my entry. Man, by the time this video gets uploaded, it's probably going to be up 15 points. These motherfuckers are missing out. You know? Oh my goodness. 68265 at 8:45 p.m. Oh my gosh. Man. Fucking wow. We're already up 10 points, dude. Already up 10 points. It's fucking amazing, man. Man, motherfuckers are watching TV, getting ready to go to sleep or some bullshit. Like, we're already up 10 points on ES. And the day hasn't even started yet. We're holding this. The day hasn't even started yet. We got 30 plus points of upside left at the fucking minimum. Bare fucking minimum. My gosh. To win this much, it's fucking amazing, man. There's nothing like it. Oh my gosh. It's just fucking like, wow. This is like, this happens all the time, man. This is fucking, dude, for a setup, I'm just so fucking ecstatic of this setup, man. Because I told people I'm only trading futures when it looks perfect, man. Futures is like the fucking, dude, there's so many glitches and like jailbreaks to life, and futures is one of them. The shit, it's like trading fucking air. It really is. The shit feels like it's trading air. It's like when something sits long enough at the perfect price with the perfect setup and it starts climbing up a little bit, it's like, dude, you know this shit's gonna fucking fly up. It's like the most likely fucking outcome. You gotta be able to see and perceive the market the right way. And most people don't see it this way because you have to see so many fucking things. That's why. To truly see the market for what it is, you have to look at it from all angles and perceive it in all directions. You know, you have to be, I would say, multi-dimensional to see it the fucking right way. Most people look at things as just like one fucking color, one fucking shade. They don't see both sides of the equation, and they don't see the multi-dimensional sides of every fucking equation out there, man. They just, people don't see it. You, and it requires a lot of fucking thinking and a lot of fucking seeing. You have to be able to see through all illusions. You have to be able to see through things very deeply, and to think clearly. You know, you got to be able to see it and you got to be able to think it. You know, not everyone has that ability like that, you know? So that's where we're at, you know? So I'm gonna leave it off at that. It's the first link down below in description if you guys want to join us and trade alongside us, and you'll print 24 fucking 7. You get access to our real-time zero-day options train alerts. Um, Yes, we had a 50-point move, massive win on that. And then I had one loss on calls, and then I had one win on calls, and I let that win turn into a loss. That doesn't mean that other people did that because, you know, that's their choice if they want to go green to red. I chose to go green to red because I wanted a 300% win without getting profit stopped out. And the reason why I did that is because I was thinking it was going to be a big win. And I was already green as fuck on the day, so I didn't mind going green to red, right? Now, if someone's in a different situation where they didn't take my trade on ES or they weren't already green, which I find hard to believe because Giroir called out two massive fucking wins on puts that went up multiple 100%. You know, then they have to do things a little bit differently, right? Um, it's the results that they want. Me, I'm comfortable with it. Sometimes I'll be comfortable with the result. If I think a play is going to go up 300%, sometimes I'm comfortable with just letting it go to worthless instead of getting profit stopped out. You know, if I'm not up a lot, right? My trade was down 80% and then it was up like 20%. I could give a fuck. I'm like, dude, the fucking like I'll just let it run. Just let it fucking run. You know, I don't always do that though. Usually I just take I'll set a profit stop or take the profit at some point instead of aiming all the way. But this time I did differently. And my reasoning, like I said, was just I like the setup, I like the pattern, and I was comfortable with doing it because I was already green as fuck on the day. When you're already green as fuck on the day, you can really risk whatever the fuck you want if you're sized in properly, know what the fuck you're doing. Red trades really don't matter. Just put it this way: if you're green and red trades matter, you shouldn't be trading. If you're already green and you don't walk away, you know, you can walk away whenever you're green. If you don't walk away and you choose to keep on trading, your trades that go to zero, that go red, should not matter at all. And if they do, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. If you're up $200 and a trade costs 50 cents multiplied by $150 a contract, well, you could take 3 trades with one contract each and still be up $50 on the day if they all went to zero, right? Which is very unlikely they would all go to zero, right? Or you can take one trade with 3 contracts and risk 150. You could do whatever the fuck you want, but at the end of the day, you know how much the price of the contracts are, and you know what you're doing. So fucking think. Like, if people just think, it would solve a fuck ton of problems. If they just evaluated their situation and think, they'd be like, dude, it doesn't matter if I have losses when I'm already green. It doesn't fucking matter. What matters is if you have losses first, because then you're digging yourself out of the fucking red and you need a max loss on your overall day because you're not supposed to lose X amount of money, whatever that number is for you on the fucking day. You know, at some point, it's like a red day has to be defined and stopped so you don't keep digging lower and lower and lower. It's just we don't have that problem over here because we went 24 fucking 7. So, anyways, every single day, you gain access to a real-time zero-day options train alert system, game plan, where to go long, where to go short. You gain access to risk management 101. As you can see in the morning, there was a loss on calls, you know, so contracts were 35 cents. There was a loss on calls. But then there was 2 wins on puts, and we added to the wins, which doubles to triple the gains. And, you know, we had massive percentage gains, a lot bigger than the most you can lose on a loss is 100%. The most you can make on a win is unlimited percent. You know, every single week we have 1 to 1,000% gains realized. 682 SPY puts for 50 cents. Shit went to 170 cents. 680 SPY puts for 50 cents. Shit went to 260 cents. So 27 cents to 266 cents on 682 puts. 680 puts, 50 cents to 172 cents, right? Bought at the exact fucking lows on that 680 put. Fucking phenomenal. So that's two massive wins. So when you have that many wins and they're that big and you add to the winners and the percentage gains are high as fuck, it doesn't matter if there's any losses after that because you know when you have to walk away. You know what you're doing, right? We're not degenerates. We know what we're doing. When we trade, we know what we're doing. We know the price of the contract. It's there for a reason. You know, like don't play stupid. There's a price of the contract. When you buy the contract, that's the price you pay. That's your max risk, right? You decide how many contracts you want to buy. Every contract you buy, that's what you're risking to go to zero, right? So losing's a personal fucking choice. That means if we start our day greens, we can have as many of those losses as we want. I'm not saying small accounts can't, but what I am saying, small accounts have the fucking brain and the fucking intellect, and they should have the fucking discipline to calculate simple fucking math. Like, okay, I'm up $100. The trades are $50 a contract, so the most I can make is one more trade if I don't stop, you know. And if that trade goes to zero, then I get back half my profits and I have to call it. That's their small account, you know? That's what they can do. The more money you have, the more options you have. The more profit you have, the more you can do, the more you can risk, the less you can risk. The more profit you make, the less of that profit you should risk as you keep on trading if you choose to keep on trading, right? Options give you options. Profit gives you money to risk, but you don't go risking all of your profit because that means you're risking green to red, which is something you should never do. But it's okay to make a trade like I did today. I made a trade and I said, you know what? I was red. Now I'm green. I'm going to risk going back to red for more green. That's okay to do if you're already green as fuck, which I was, you know? But for the day, on the fucking day, that's not okay. That's not okay on the day. If you're green on the day and you're risking going red, that's not okay. Right? But if you're already green on the day and there's a trade and you're green and you don't want to set a profit stop and you want to let it run for a big win and you're okay if it going to zero and going green red, that's completely fine to do. Just know the risk of doing that, you know? Whether you're risking 10% of your profits, 20% of your profits, it's okay to do. Just don't be a degenerate and go green to red on the day. It's okay in terms of one trade to go green to red. That's fucking okay if you're already green as fuck. So understand the difference, motherfuckers. 840 SPX calls for 90 cents. Shit went to 300 cents. That's another 200% win. So start off today with a fuck ton of wins, some L's in the middle and some wins in the middle. Very successful day there. And like I said, in terms of my trade, I had ES that went up a fuck ton. The shit went up over 50 points. Then I had a loss on calls. I tried calls at the higher level. It didn't work out. Really doesn't matter because I told everyone to fucking buy ES at the lows and it went up 50 points. And then I told everyone 689.50 gap close reversal in and out, hit the fucking puts, and that was the exact peak. And G Roar called out two massive wins on puts, where if you would have added to it would have been double to triple to gains, and they were multiple 100% profit returns. So losing's all fucking personal choice, dude. Like you guys shouldn't be trading if you can't let 100% loss tickle. Like it should that shit shouldn't tickle at all. Like the fuck, it's just 100% L. It's your max risk per trade, 1, 2, 3% of your account. You know. Um, and then this was the trade on calls. This one went red and then it went green. So when something is green, losing's a choice. And I chose to lose on this trade, even though it was green, because I wanted a bigger win. And that's okay to do if you're okay with the outcome of that. And the outcome of that is it can go to zero. And if you're okay with that and you're already green on the day, that's completely fine to do. Now, is that fine to do over and over and over again? Nonsense. No, no. That's something I rarely do. Right? So understand it's something I rarely fucking do, right? And that also means that certain people, you know, they should have taken profit on that. They should have gotten out. People have to think for themselves. They have to be able to do what they want to do. For me, I chose to take the risk because I measured the move and I said, if I hold this and it works, it's going to go up 300%. And I'm already green as fuck on the day. And I calculated and I said, you know what? I'm comfortable with taking the risk. If it expires worth and goes to zero and it goes red, fine. I'm completely fine with going green to red because the risk to reward was worth it. And I was already green as fuck on the day. That's why. But if someone's not in that situation, then obviously they need to think for them fucking selves and they need to go, oh well, I'm green on this trade. I don't want to go red because if I go red, that's gonna affect my day. I might go green to red on the day, or might give back too much of my profit. Right? They have to think for them fucking selves. Instead of just blindly fucking doing shit. Everyone's in different situations, but if they would have taken a trade on ES or the puts on SPY, they would have been green as fuck. They would have been in the same situation as I am, just different account size. And if you have a different account size and you're making different profits, that means that there's less you can do. That means you have to trade less and you have to size in less on the trades. There is obviously differences, right? I mean, if you're making thousands of dollars in profits on the day, theoretically, you can make as many trades as you want and have as many 100% losses as you want. You just have to keep on sizing down on those trades if you keep on trading, which is what we do. We don't try to fucking scale our account to a fucking trillion in a single fucking day. When we win, when we're green, most important thing is to stay green and to take small risk, lower position sizes that are going to yield big profits. And sometimes with doing that, you don't use a profit stop. Sometimes you do use a profit stop. Sometimes people just want trades to play out and they don't want to get profit stopped out because if they get profit stopped out, then the big move might happen and they might miss it and they want their entry. Sometimes it's an entry thing where it's like, I like my entry, I like the setup, I like the time I'm in, I'm going to accept this for what it is and just let the trade play out. And then you can try to adapt as it's playing out and move on to a new plan or new thesis, or you can just kind of stick with it. It depends on the situation and the most likely outcomes and what makes the most sense. But at the end of the day, people should be comfortable with what the outcome could be, which is a trade expiring worthless and going to zero. And then if it works, it can go up multiple 100% to 1,000% plus. So, anyways, this is what we do. We trade cheap, low risk, far out of the money zero rated options. The group is the first link down below with an description. You gain access to our group. You gain instant access to multimillionaires. You gain access to our secure private networking community. You gain access to a real-time zero-day options trade alert system. You can turn on push notifications, gain access to these trades in real time. If you want to actually gain access to not just the best trades, but the best trade alert system, right? Where to get in, where to get out, where to set profit stops, when to move the profit stops up. This is the group. We have the best trades in the market when it comes to options. It's the best real-time zero-day options trade alert system. You will not find better far out of the money zero-day options trades, a better far out of the money zero-day options trade alert system than this. These are the best trades. They have the highest risk to reward ratios. They have the highest rewards within the market. They have the biggest percentage gains. Um, and you're going to see that there's nothing like this group, there's nothing like this community, and there's nothing like the trades that we make. We truly are on our own, in our own realm, in our own world, in our own level, on our own shit, and it prints like fucking crazy. There's nothing like it, man. Nobody else is winning this much, this consistently every single fucking day. It's fucking insane on the amount of fucking wins, dude. It's so much fucking winning where you can genuinely do whatever the fuck you want to do. That type of winning, whatever the fuck you want to do, you can fucking do it. Um, so yeah. With that being said, it's the first link down below with in the description if you want to join and trade alongside us. It's cheap, low risk, far the money, zero rated option contracts. We sell them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. The most you put into the trade is your max risk per trade, 1, 2, 3% of your account. If it doesn't work out, it expires worthless and goes to zero. If it works out, we set profit stops so we don't go green to red. We add winners, and when you add to winners, it doubles to triple the gains, right? And in that particular situation, you set a profit stop. So as you increase your position size, your profit stop protects you from going green to red. So it's a way to actually take big position sizes without going green to red. If you add to a loser, you get stuck holding the bag when you're wrong. If you add to a winner instead of profit stop, well, you make a massive fucking win because you increase your position size. One small move in your favor, that takes the winning to another fucking level to double to triple the gains, right? So even though you're adding to the winner and increasing your position size, and adding in extra R multiples, it's like you're not risking those extra R multiples that you added because the profit stop stops you out and it prevents you from going green to red. But if you use a stop loss, it actually stops you out, which makes you a loser because you lost money in the particular trade. And if you would have added to your loser before you got stopped out, you would have had a bigger loss. You see, we do the opposite. Most people add to losers, set stop losses, get stopped out, lose big, take small wins, right? Only reason to use a stop loss is if you're taking a big position size, really. But the way to take a successful big position size is to actually add the winners. Because if you add 200 instead of profit stop, it's impossible to go green or red. So, like I said, the way we trade is completely different compared to everyone else. Everyone else just holds losers, adds to losers. Well, most people don't even hold losers. Most people just use stop losses. They use stop losses, they add to losers, and they have big losses, and they sell for small wins. They're fucking degenerates, right? What we do is we hold our trades, we win big, we trade the trend, we set profit stops, we add to winners, which ensures that not only are we increasing our gains, but we're not increasing our risk by increasing our position size because the profit stop is going to profit stop us out. And then as the trade works in our favor, we move the profit stop up higher. We move it up higher because at some point the market's going to go against us. And when it goes against us, we get profit stopped out, not where we originally set it to. We get profit stopped out at our level that we moved it up to. So we're not giving back the bulk of our profits, right? So the more I fucking talk, the higher this fucking goes. And I've been in this trade, for about 2 hours now, and it just keeps on fucking going up. This ES is fucking beautiful, man. It's like an exact fucking mirror of my life, dude. I'm gonna walk outside, I'm gonna see fucking everything I want to fucking see will be out there. It's fucking beautiful. Look at this. It just keeps on fucking going up, dude. You think it's by accident that we win this much? How is it that some people all they do is lose, and then other people all they do is win, and then there's other people they're like transitioning, they're in between the winning and the losing, in ins and outs, you know? How is it that some people can just win 24 fucking 7? Well, join a group, fucking see winning 24 fucking 7. You want to win, be around fucking winners. That's one way to win. Surround yourself with fucking winners, man. Like I said, the point of life, the point of my life that I'm at, I literally want everything to fucking mirror me, dude. I want to be around winners 24 fucking 7. I want to live around winners, be around winners. Everyone I come in contact to, they gotta be winning. They gotta be winning. They gotta be established. They gotta be fucking printing non fucking stop. I'm looking for fucking winners. Um, and I'm around them, So it's fucking amazing to win this much every single fucking day. And you can get started, like I said. It's the first link down below in the description. If you look what fucking, oh my gosh, dude, ES is doing the same shit it did here at the same fucking levels, man. If people just open their fucking eyes and started trading, like my gosh, they would be green 24 fucking 7 like we are. This shit is fucking crazy, man. Look at this setup. Does this not look identical? I wonder how many people like watching this video of like if they're in futures right now getting in on this. This is like free fucking money, dude. Like are you guys not seeing the fucking future? Because I'm seeing it. Like I've lived this before. I know about this life. I've experienced this before. You think it's by accident that I literally just bought futures towards the exact lows again? Like this shit is fucking crazy. Back to back. You think it's by accident that I put in my title the market's gonna crash at 689.50 and it crashes? Nobody else is doing this. Why come nobody else is doing that? Dude, open your fucking eyes and look at this fucking chart. So I'm gonna leave it off at that. Losing's a personal choice. If you're red, quit trading. It's not for you. If you want to go green, cheap, low risk, far the money zero date options. We sell them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. We have the highest win rate in the game doing it. Most you put into the trades is your max risk per trade, right? The winners are bigger than the losers, not just percentage wise, right? Most you lose is 100% of the trade. Most you make is unlimited percent. Also, because of the dollar gains, we're adding to the winners. We're increasing our position size when we're winning, not when we're losing. We're setting profit stops, not stop losses, to ensure that we get stopped out for profit, not for losses. We're holding losers till zero, 7 out of 10 times when we hold a loser, and it drops 50%. We don't, if we didn't time the trade right? Drop 50%, turns into a loser. It comes back to life 7 out of 10 times. Why? Because we trade the trend and we make sure that we don't go far out enough money to where it's not going to go deep in the money, even if the trend works against us for the short term, but comes back to life later. There's nothing like this. You will never find another trading system where the losers come back to life that are down 70%, they go green, and then we add to the winners that increase the wins. And then when the winners are timed perfectly, it's either on the first trade or it's either after a loss. Literally, losers give us opportunities to hold that loss, which turns into a winner, and then also another opportunity to make another trade on the same side because we trade the trend, right? We rarely hedge because we're right about the trend and we trade the trend. That's how we're so fucking successful at what we're doing, because we're trading the trend. That's why we know when the market's going to have a trend reversal, we trade the trend reversal. We know when the market has established trend, we trade the established trend, right? Both. So same way I knew that the market was going to crash at 689.50. So this is what the fuck we do, and we win 24/7. Nobody trades the way that we trade and prints the way that we fucking print. It's the first link down below in the description. If you want to make a fuck ton of money, you gain access to our secure private networking community and to our real-time zero-day option trade alert system. With that being said, we're going to continue to crush it. I'll be giving you guys updates within the chat from here. And we will see you guys within the chat in the morning as well.